right, greetings and welcome to the results video for our pick a card for the week of February, I already forgot, the 9th through the 15th. This week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of as it relates to how you should communicate, and communicating in a way that is constructive for what you say you want, rather than destructive for what you say you want. So you were to select from card group number 1, card group number 2, or card group number 3. And you are to comment your card selection by Monday, February 10th in order to be entered to win our February giveaway. If you're new to watching this, welcome. Every week that you comment your card selection down below, your name is entered in additional time. Or each week that you do that, your name is entered in additional time to win the giveaway for the month. And so you want to make sure that you comment if you want to be entered to win. So I have just 3 things to say very quickly before I go into the opening intuitive message. Down below, you will see a link for my audio class called The 9 Keys to Manifesting What You Want. It's a class that was very popular last year, and so I re-released it. It's an audio class. As soon as you purchase it, you will have immediate access to it. It's a little over an hour-long class where I talk about basically what the title says, the 9 keys, the 9 things that you must do and align yourself with in order to manifest whatever you want, whether you want something material possession, a life experience, a spiritual encounter, whatever it is that you are wanting for your life, you can have whatever you want. And so this class teaches you how to be in position to manifest whatever you want at any time that you want, and to be able to duplicate that time and time again in your life. And so that class is only $9.99. You can download it for only, basically $10 down below, and that is available only this week, so you want to make sure that you get that. The second thing that I have for you is make sure you click down below to book a personal reading. These readings here are very general. You are not the only one who selected number 1, 2, or 3. So if you want something that is more specific for you, you can book a personal reading, such as the Clarity Now reading, to help give you clarity on a specific question or questions that you may have regarding your life at this time, or the Magic of Me intuitive natal chart reading, the full one or the miniature one, where I am looking at the planets in your chart. In the full one, I'm looking at all of the planets in your birth chart, helping you to know your life's purpose and, money, love, career, family, all the matters in your life. And then the mini edition of the Magic of Me intuitive natal chart reading, I'm looking at only your sun, moon, and rising sign, and showing how those 3 are working together to create who you are, and how you can, better utilize your sun, moon, and rising signs so that they are effective for you. So make sure you click down below to get that. And then also it's still in Aquarius season, so make sure you watch part 1 and part 2 of Everybody's in Aquarius, including you. Those links are down below. In part 1, I actually interviewed 2 Aquarians about what is Aquarius energy and how we can all utilize that energy in our lives, because Aquarius is somewhere in your birth chart, no matter what sun sign you are. And then in part 2 of that, I actually go through each sign from Aries all the way through Pisces and explain what each one of us should be focusing on right now during Aquarius season. So make sure you do that. Also, I mentioned in my last video that YouTube has been sometimes I comment below and sometimes it deletes my comments. I don't know what that's about. So if you're commenting down below, like your card selection, and and I normally respond to you to say, hey, thank you for participating, your name is in the hat, and whatnot. If you don't see my response, just know that I did indeed get your name, and your name is in the hat, as long as you commented by the date that I indicated. So I just wanted to, remind you all of that. So, and then lastly, like, subscribe, and share. I'm so loving y'all. I'm so loving how, I set the intention to start getting more people to subscribe, and y'all responded. Y'all been subscribing, so I so appreciate that. And make sure you share this video with people that you feel could benefit from it. So, our opening intuitive message. This week, February 9th through the 15th, we are at the beginning of we're in kind of like was known as like the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde. The planet Mercury doesn't go fully retrograde until I believe the 16th, so at the beginning of next week. So I'm sure I'll have something to say about this again there. But, I always tell people that, don't go by the dates that they say Mercury will go retrograde. Look at least 2 weeks before that. And then when they say Mercury is like going direct, look 2 weeks after that, that we will still be feeling that energy. So for the past week and a half or so, we have all already been feeling a little bit of that Mercury retrograde energy. When the planet Mercury goes retrograde, it appears to be stagnating and then moving backwards in the sky. It's really just an optical illusion. But when that happens, just like other things when they happen in our galaxy and our universe and whatnot, we feel the impact of that. And typically when Mercury goes retrograde, we feel the impact in our communication, in our travel. I always say we feel the impact in anything that has to go from A to B, right? So your car goes from one place to the next. An airplane goes from one place to the next. Your words leave your mouth and go to the ears of somebody else's. You know what I mean? So anytime there's movement or travel, whether it's your physical body, whether it's your words, whether it's your thoughts, whatever it is where we see the most impact, because the planet Mercury deals with communication. It is the planet of communication and intellect and thought processes and all of that kind of stuff. So what tends to happen, especially if you're not mindful of its energy, what can tend to happen is that there's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of unnecessary arguments, unnecessary debates, even increases in car accidents or increases in just, situations happening that could have been avoided if you had just slowed down and taken your time, because that's what the planet Mercury appears to be doing. It's slowing down. It slows down to the degree that it actually looks like it starts moving backwards. So likewise, we have to be mindful of our words. We have to be mindful of the conversations that we engage in. We have to be mindful not to take the bait to argue unnecessarily with people, especially if the outcome, if it's over something that doesn't even matter anyway, or something that you can't really change. We have to be mindful not to rush, but to take our time, even with things such as signing contracts, anything where, we agree to something that later on we might wish that we didn't agree to. So any agreements that you have to make, you want to be mindful that, you want to read the fine print. You want to be sure that this is an agreement that you want to get involved in. So those are all of the things of Mercury retrograde. Now, of course, I'm not saying don't sign contracts or, don't buy big ticket items or don't travel or don't talk to people. Absolutely not. It's just a time to be more mindful of those things, and also to be mindful of how we how even we perceive, so when people are saying things to us, are we so quick in our feelings? Are we really listening to what people say? Or are we jumping to conclusions based on how we feel, based on things we've gone through, et cetera, et cetera. And then also sometimes people also see people from their past coming back to them, like old boyfriends, old girlfriends, past lovers, or even just regular friends that you maybe had a falling out with. And so when that happens, it's just a time to see, like, are you really done with this person? When you said it was over, did you mean it? And I'm not saying that you can't be done with the person. Some relationships can be healed and mended. But sometimes people get nostalgic during a Mercury retrograde period, and they don't even know why. So they start popping back up in people's lives. They're starting to wanting to reopen those lines of communication. And so you have to be mindful who you let back into your life, or if all of a sudden you feel the urge to go back to somebody that you let go of for whatever reason, just be clear on your reasons for doing that. And so this week, because this pick a card reading is all about what we almost need to know, do, and be aware of as it relates to how we communicate and communicating. I don't feel that anything destructive necessarily means that it's bad, because some things need to be destroyed, some things need to be eliminated from our lives. But the point is to communicate in a way that is either constructive or destructive based on what you need and desire in your life. And so in order to do that, you have to be clear on what you want. You have to be clear on your needs. You have to be clear on your requirements, because if you communicate with somebody in a way that is counter to what you say you really want, and you end up destroying a relationship or destroying an opportunity because of your mouth, you might not be able to take that back. And Mercury retrograde sometimes has us in a position where we are speaking without thinking. We're just speaking just whatever comes straight from our gut, from our heart, whatever, or not even from the heart, I would say, because the heart is so pure, but coming from just an erratic emotional space. And so we want to be mindful of that. Know that your words have the power to destroy and to build, to give life or to cause or to end life, figuratively and literally, and so you want to be mindful of your words, that in order to do that, you have to be clear on who you are, what you want, so that you are communicating effectively. So that is what today's reading is all about. Being mindful of how we communicate and seeing if we are communicating in a way that is constructive to the things that we say that we want. So that is it for my opening intuitive message. Again, make sure you click the links down below. Make sure you get the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. We are constantly manifesting. And so you want to make sure that you're able to do so with more intention and consistency. And again, right now that class, you can download it immediately for only $9.99. And it's over an hour long. So it's very much worth it. But also like, subscribe, share. And I think that is it. So card group number 1, your reading is up next. All right, greetings and welcome to the results for card group number 1. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you skipped ahead. Make sure you click the link down below to download the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. It's an hour-long class that was very popular for me last year, and so I made it available again, but only for this week. And so you can download that entire class for only $9.99, and it guides you through how to manifest whatever you want. It's a very simple class, but it really helps you to manifest whatever you want very consistently, whenever you want to do it for whatever you want. So make sure you get that class while it is still available. Make sure you book a personal reading, because these readings are very general. So if you want something that is very specific to you, click the link below for the Clarity Now reading, the Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, or the mini edition of the Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading. And then lastly, make sure that you watch part 1 and part 2 of Everybody's in Aquarius, because we are still in Aquarius season. Oh, not lastly, also, if you're commenting your card selection here on YouTube, sometimes YouTube has been deleting some of my responses back to you. So just know that if you comment your card selection by February 10th is the day that you have. If you comment your card selection by February 10th and for whatever reason you don't see my confirmation comment that I got your name, just know that I got your name in the hat. So I just wanted to let you all know that. Like, subscribe, and share. And all right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the stone that you have on top of here is a lapis lazuli. It's a very beautiful blue stone with like some goldish, brownish, tannish flakes in it. It's a stone that is often used for communication. As you see with this blue color, it is resonating very much with like the throat chakra, or even like the third eye, the ajna chakra. But so it's really a high vibrating kind of energy that this stone has. It is very good for helping you to speak your truth, to really speak from the heart, yes, but to speak in a way that is clear, and to speak in a way, communicate in a way that is authentic to what you are truly feeling and what you want to say. So I often suggest this stone, and I actually just last night I did an event that some of you might have attended with a good friend of mine who's a therapist, Neogela Hendricks Wilson. We did an event called Amplifying Your Abundance Through Crystals and Astrology. And this was one of the stones that we kind of brought up during that event to help people to know that, you know, it's a good stone for communication. This week, because we are talking about communication, I thought that this was a good addition. So you know what I always tell you to do? If you want to know more about this stone, make sure you Google lapis lazuli. All right. So those of you who have been watching, you probably see a little difference here. The goddess cards are not here this week. I just didn't feel that they needed to be here this week. And these readings are so intuitive that I go with, you know, how I am feeling. And so this week we are looking at what we almost need to know, do, and be aware of in order to communicate in ways that are constructive to what we say we want and not destructive. And if you go back and listen to my opening intuitive message that I did at the beginning of this video, which I highly suggest you do because it connects with what I'm about to tell you here, then you know that this topic is because we are on the heels of entering into a full out Mercury retrograde. And I go into detail about what that means. And so we just really got to start being mindful with our words. So how we're doing this week is, as usual, these cards here, the one on the bottom is your general wisdom and guidance. The one that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you. But then I'm going to flip this card to give like an outcome for you, okay? And so what do you need? How do you need to be communicating this week in a way that is constructive to what you say you want rather than destructive? You got the Three of Wands, and it is crossed by the Eight of Cups. The Three of Wands, and it is crossed by the Eight of Cups. So the Three of Wands is telling me that this week you really need to, well, because this card is, you know, your general wisdom and guidance. You are probably somebody who is waiting for something, who is hopeful at this time. You have put your, whenever I see the Three of Wands, it's kind of like, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a man. He's looking out at the ocean and some little ships, some little tiny ships way out on the sea. And so it's like when you put your ships out and you're waiting for them to come back to you, you're hopeful that what you put out will, you know, whatever risk you have taken, whatever leaps you have made, leaps of faith you have made, you are standing in hopes and waiting that, you know, your desire is coming back to you, you know, that what you set in motion will indeed come back to you. And so this Three of Wands, whatever you have set in motion, particularly with your mouth, whatever you said that you wanted, whatever you communicated that you wanted, and because it's a Wands card, you have probably backed up these words with action, because the Wands deal with action. So whatever you have said you wanted, that you've actually put action towards, this is a good week for you to continue to speak powerful words of affirmation over that for your life, and to trust and believe and to keep your fire burning. You see, he still has his torches are lit, meaning that, you know, it's not a time for you to stop believing or stop putting your fire behind it, stop putting your energy behind it. This is the time to keep your energy up. This is the time to keep your hope alive. This is the time to continue to believe. And I'm saying that because it is crossed by the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is a card of kind of like walking away. is a card of, you know, when you've been in something, been involved with something, you know, this could be a relationship, this could be a career, it could be whatever. You're not the only one who selected card group number one, so take it however it fits you. But it's like, okay, that was fulfilling for a while, but I'm no longer satisfied. I'm no longer emotionally fulfilled. And so you see this person is kind of walking away from their cups. They're walking away from what once satisfied and fulfilled them emotionally. And they're looking, even if you see, they're looking towards the moon, which is like your intuition, your subconscious mind, you know, or sometimes even your fears, you know. And so walking away requires courage, but sometimes you don't know what you're walking towards. You just know that, you know, what you used to do, what you used to have, what you used to be involved with, what used to fulfill you no longer does. So sometimes when you're in this stage, this 8 of Cups, then you become fearful and you start doubting yourself, and you start even doubting what you set in motion, and doubting you know, what you started and what you hoped and what you believe for. And then what happens is you start speaking against it, like, I want this, but I don't know if I can have it, and you start doubting yourself and all of that kind of stuff. So since this week we're talking about communication, and communicating in a way that is constructive and not destructive, you have to, if you're feeling this 8 of Cups energy where you kind of feel like you're in between where you were but where you want to be, in between having what you once had but what you want now, then you have to keep your energy up. The 3 of Wands is saying keep your energy up. You know, keep your energy on fire, you know, and don't doubt yourself, and communicate in a way that is in line with what you want. Again, make sure you go back to the beginning of this entire video and listen to my opening intuitive message, because I talk about how with us being in this pre-Mercury retrograde time period, we are already feeling that energy, and it can cause people to speak in a way that they really don't mean, and say things that are actually counterintuitive or counterproductive to what they say they want. And so you don't want to be one of those people. So you know, this week, make sure you keep that torch lit for whatever it is that you are saying that you're wanting. And if you do that, let's see what this outcome card is saying. Wow. Happiness, the 10 of Cups, emotional happiness. The 10 of Cups is the happy card. Happiness, and it's really kind of family oriented too. It's like happiness in your home. If you look at this family is like, you know, they look complete and happy and joyous, even though you're seeing the back of the couple, but still, you know, it's the indication that life is good. You know, life is joyous. You know, it's the simple things that bring the most amount of pleasure and joy. And this week, don't overcomplicate things then, you know, because you can have this kind of outcome. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't, you know, if don't speak in a way that is counterintuitive to what you want. Keep your communication and everything that Mercury retrograde deals with, not only your words, but your thoughts, your intuition, you know, how you move. Keep that energy high. Keep it elevated, keep it on the positive or beneficial end of the spectrum, because this is possible for you. Joy, happiness, happiness in your home, happiness in your family, you know, and even I'm feeling that some of you maybe have bad communication or poor communication with your family, or maybe there's been some family breakdowns. But if you're mindful with your words, and if you listen from the heart, and you listen with intention, and you speak your truth also, but not in a way to be hurtful, but in a way that is honest and pure, like, you know, lapis lazuli is saying, then you can have, you know, that could be the thing that brings the family together. And so then lastly, the wisdom card. Wow, this is the second week in a row that this card has come up. The wisdom card that you received is loyal heart, which, looking at it, you can do 2 owls, you know, 2 of them looking at each other, admiringly, what's the right word? I don't know. Comment that below. I want to see if somebody's actually going to comment that below. So if y'all know the right word, I want to see. This is really a test. I want to see who's going to do it. What is the right way to use that word? Anyway, So loyal heart is a card of love and faithfulness and coming together. So I'm going to read what the information that comes with this card. It says fidelity, loyalty, and devotion. Evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. The relationship message says your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. And the prosperity message says your long-term loyalty to your goals is becoming evident in the world of conditions where your aspirations for success assume form and reality. Success is finally taking shape. If you are loyal to your dreams, faithful to your plans, while remaining flexible and devoted to serving others, you will be shown proof of your true prosperity. This is a time for a joyful celebration of Spirit, your manifesting partner. So, Spirit is your manifesting partner. Spirit is the one who helps you to manifest what you want. So keep your dreams alive, keep your desires and your hopes alive. Whatever you walked away from or needed to walk away from, that's fine. But as you're walking away, don't use that as a time to doubt and speak against what you want. Use that as a time to get more clear about your desires and to speak affirmations over them, because joy and happiness and wholeness and completion and a fresh new start is available for you. All right, so that is it for your reading this week, February 9th through February 15th. Make sure you comment your card selection below by February 10th on Monday if you want to be entered to win our February giveaway. Get the 9 keys to manifesting what you want, which is available to download for only $9.99 this week only. Book a personal reading, like, subscribe, share, and as always, until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. Well, greetings and welcome to the results for card group number 2. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, February 10th if you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway. Every week that you do that, your name is added to the hat an additional time. If you're commenting on YouTube, then just know that I don't know why, but YouTube has deleted some of my comments sometimes. So if you don't see my confirmation comment under your comment to say that I got your name in the hat, just know if you do it by the date that I indicate, by February 10th, then your name is indeed in the hat. Make sure you download the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. There's a very popular audio class that I did last year this time, and I decided to relaunch it for 1 week. So you have 1 week to get it for only $9.99, and you get immediate access to the 1-hour class, and it goes over all the simple, easy ways to help you to manifest whatever you want anytime that you want, consistently and easily. So that is down below. Make sure you book a personal reading because these readings here are very general. So if you have specific questions about your life, you want to make sure that you book the Clarity Now reading. If you want to know more about your life's purpose and things dealing with money, friends, career, relationships, all of that kind of stuff about who you are, then get the Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, or you can get the miniature version of the Magic of Me where I just look at your sun, moon, and rising sign. All of those links are down below. And then make sure you watch Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, parts 1 and 2. Because we're still in Aquarius season. And then lastly, make sure you listen to the opening intuitive message, because what I talk about in that message, with us being in the beginning stages of a Mercury retrograde, is going to help you have a deeper understanding of what I talk about here. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. The stone that you have at the top of your deck is a blue lace agate. And I recently did an event called Amplifying Your Abundance Through Crystals and Astrology with a friend of mine and licensed therapist, Nia Hendricks Wilson. And this was one of the stones that she actually talked about during our lecture. And I just wanted to keep in that momentum, because with us getting ready to go into this Mercury retrograde, that which deals with communication, and sometimes communication can get tough, rough during a Mercury retrograde. And so blue lace agate not only helps you to be clear about what you want to say, but it also helps you to have the confidence, but also the peace of mind. If you're overthinking, because Mercury retrograde also deals with your thought processes, how you process information, how you think about things. So if you find yourself over analyzing, overthinking, worrying, stressing, and you don't have the kind of peace of mind that you're wanting, then this stone, a blue lace agate, is very good to have, because it helps you to remain calm and peaceful. And so, you know what I always tell you to do, if you want to know more about this stone, make sure you Google blue lace agate. So those of you who watch, you probably already see something different going on here. I got to change it up sometimes, y'all. And I just move with spirit, how I'm feeling. And so the goddess cards are not here because I didn't think that they needed to say anything this week. So what we are doing is we're going to still look at these cards here. And then I'm going to pull this one as kind of an outcome card. So this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to communicate constructively towards what you want instead of destructively. And I chose that topic because we are in Mercury's shadow. And so we're already feeling that Mercury retrograde energy. So this card here lets you know kind of where you are now in your general wisdom and guidance. What crosses it will tell you what will help or hinder you in your communication right now, okay? So you got the 8 of Wands, and it's crossed by the Chariot. Wow, y'all need to be talking. Okay, so the 8 of Wands is crossed by the Chariot. So the 8 of Wands is a card of speed, quickness, swiftness, not, dragging your feet, not waiting. If there is something that you need to say, and it is truly something that needs to be said, then this seems like the week in which it would be helpful for you to do so. Because this card came up in what your general wisdom and where you are now, you might be, your mind, because the swords deal with the mental energy, so your mind is probably moving very fast, or you might experience that this week where you're thinking this and you're thinking that, and you want to express this and you want to express that, or maybe ideas. Some of you this week, ideas may come to you very swiftly, and they're ideas that you need to run with. Like when you get the idea, you don't need to mull around with it, think about it 20 times, ask 30 of your friends, book 35 readings with 35 different readers, still book a reading with me though. Shameless plug. Anyway, but it's like whatever you think about is probably, something that you want to take action on or to move with. I will preface this though with us being in the very beginnings, like Mercury is slowing down as I am recording this. So with Mercury retrograde, I said this in my opening intuitive message, and if you didn't listen to it, when we're done here, rewind the tape, rewind the video, and go to the beginning of this video where I do the opening intuitive message, because I talk about how when Mercury is retrograde, we have to be mindful not to rush. So you do want to be clear about what you are doing. You don't want to be like fools rush in, but at the same time, this card makes me feel that when you know for sure of something, then you need to move with it. And especially because it's crossed by the Chariot, and the Chariot is definitely a card of action and movement. When you think about, a warrior or whoever who is riding a chariot, he is very sure about his movement. Chariots move in one direction. They move straight. A chariot is very hard for a chariot to make a swift left or a right turn, because they will topple over. The chariot, or a rickshaw or something like that, is hard for it to make turns, like swift turns, because it could topple over, so they typically move in very straight lines, meaning for you have to be clear, you have to be focused, you have to know where you are shifting all of this energy to, where your swift movement is moving to. And let me make a correction, because I might have said earlier 8 of Swords, and I really did mean 8 of Wands. I don't know that I said that, but I just feel like I did say something like that. But the 8 of Wands is ambition and drive and action, swift action, being highly motivated and not waiting, taking action. But taking action, with us going into Mercury retrograde, it would be taking action on what you know. And so with it being crossed by the Chariot, you are invited to really be clear, not to just take erratic actions, acting too swiftly without being clear. Again, because a chariot can only, it moves best in a straight line. So you have to move in a very clear, direct, and focused way. So you can't deal with a lot of confusion this week. Anything you're confused about, you need to get clear about, so that you can take actions that are very direct, that are very clear, that are very purposeful. And not in a wishy-washy way. And so the card that you see here is, I pulled this third card to kind of be like an outcome card if you do or don't do the wisdom that is shared with you here. And so, wow. Oh, this is nice. What came up for you is the Sun, which is all, just happiness, like carefree. If you look at this, you got a naked baby on a white horse with the sun and some sunflowers behind him. Pure joy. And with it being, this child being naked is reminding you of, when you're just like children. Have you ever seen children? They will strip down and be naked and run around the house butt naked and don't even care. They don't have shame yet. They don't have that sense of embarrassment. It's this total full out joy of who they are. And I'm not telling you to strip down naked and get on a white horse. What I'm telling you is that when you are just being purely yourself and you don't feel like you have to hide parts of yourself, you don't feel like, any shame about who you are. It's a joy and a freedom that comes with this kind of energy. It's very interesting that you got the Sun card too, because at the very beginning of this week, on the 9th, we will have a full moon in the sign of Leo, and Leo is ruled by the Sun. So you are being reminded this week to tap into that Leo energy. No matter what sun sign you are, it doesn't matter. You will be impacted by a Leo full moon, which is all about tapping into your personal confidence, your personal strength, your willpower, your joy, standing out in the crowd and not caring because you know who you are and you're confident in yourself and you're radiating joy and love and confidence, just like the Sun, and you're not hindered by anything. He's totally naked. He's unhindered by anything, and uninhibited, so just allow yourself to be truly who you are this week, and to make moves that are clear and ambitious, even ambitious, because the Wands and the Sun and the Chariot, that's all like just ambition. Have the sheer unmitigated gall this week to do you, to shine like the sun, to do the things that you've always wanted to do, to not let anything hold you back. Again, yes, with this going into a Mercury retrograde, you do want to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. You don't want to be reckless, but you do want to be confident and powerful. And so this is the week for that. And so I pulled an additional card to give you additional wisdom. And it says, no place like home. Whenever I see this card, I know it's dealing with, finding a place of comfort, like home is. So I'm going to read the information that comes with this card. And it says authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. Home feels safe and secure. It's a comfortable place to rest and create, a place that is known and you can call yours. This card signals that, wait a minute, might have lost my place. This card signals that your ability to trust yourself and feel at home in your own skin is beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and integrity, aspects of yourself no one can take away from you. You know who you are. You hold your head high, yet with neither pride nor humility. Instead, you stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of your soul. This puts you in a position of power and strength. Authenticity is your home. You are safe here in the house of your spirit and spirit. Your spirit, lowercase, and spirit, capital, uppercase, capital. And so the relationship message says, lovers, friends, and companion animals are at home in your life right now. You are in sync and full of love, and you can be secure in the knowledge that is reciprocated. Relationships elicit a sense of emotional safety, comfort, and the best aspects of familiarity. Now, be home in this relationship. Together, you add to the love of the world. The prosperity message says, when you act in an authentic way, you command the world to reflect back to you exactly what is in your highest good. Your business choices, the investments you make, and the creative projects you immerse yourself in are powerfully on point. Why? Because when you are fully yourself, radically accepting everything in your journey to date, both successes and failures, you will see the divinity in all things. Abundance is a natural progression when you experience this kind of authenticity. Wow, that's very powerful, because this week you are being, the outcome is that you really can be fully yourself and experience the joy that comes with confidently standing as who you are and being swift to take actions that are in your best and highest good. So that is your reading for this week, February 9th through the 15th. Make sure you comment your card selection by Monday, February 10th. If you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway, download the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. This is a great week for you to do that because it looks like you've got some manifesting power. And you can download that class for only $9.99. Only this week. The link is down below. And like, subscribe, share, book a personal reading. And that's it. Until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. Well, hello there and welcome to the results for card group number 3. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure that you comment your card selection by Monday, February 10th if you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway. Make sure that you click the link down below to download the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. It is a very popular audio class that I released last year, and I decided to just bring it back for 1 week right now, so you can download that entire over 1 hour long class for only $9.99, and it will guide you through some very simple steps to manifesting consistently whatever you want, whenever you want. At any time of your life. Make sure you click the link down below to book a personal reading because these readings are very general. You're not the only one who selected card group number 3. So if you have a specific question about your life, make sure you get the Clarity Now reading. If you want to know more about like your life's purpose and then just everything about your life from money, career, family, relationships, all that kind of stuff, then get the Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, or the mini edition of the Magic of Me where I just look at your sun, moon, and rising signs. All of those links are down below. Make sure that you watch part 1 and part 2 of Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, because we are all still in Aquarius season. So you got to know what to do since we still here, right? If you are commenting if you comment your card selection on YouTube, just know that I don't know what's going on. Sometimes YouTube deletes my comments, which is crazy. But so if you don't see my confirmation underneath your post to say, hey, your name is in the hat, whatever, whatever. So just know that I got it, even if you don't see my comment down below. So that is it for that. So let's go ahead and get into it. The stone that is at the top of your group is an apatite. This is a raw apatite stone. It's usually, not usually, but sometimes you see it polished where it's all turquoise, but here you see it's in its raw form. So it has like the turquoise and still a bit of the raw look to it, and the brown and gold and whatnot. And so it is a stone that helps with communication, helping you to be clear about what path you are trying to be on. It's a stone that does help with confidence and asserting your way, but in a way that is beneficial, you know, that is not just assertive for the sake of being assertive, but is assertive in helping you to get to what you want. Is helping you to have communication that brings about the outcome that you want. It also helps with creativity and improving like your spiritual skills, your spiritual intuitive self as well. And so I thought that this was a great stone to use this week, because we are looking at how you can communicate in a way that is more constructive towards the things that you say that you want, rather than destructive towards that. So you know what I always tell you to do. Make sure you Google apatite, and that is spelled A-P-A-T-I-T-E, if you want to know more about this stone. So those of you who have been watching, you already noticed that something is a little bit different here. I don't have the goddess cards here because I just didn't feel that they needed to be here this week. I always move with how I feel. So I just thought that this week needed to be a little bit different. If you listen to the opening intuitive message that I did at the beginning, I talk about us being in the shadow phase of a Mercury retrograde. And so this week and in the weeks coming, communication and how we communicate is going to be highly, highly important. And so that is what these cards here are all about. So as usual, these cards here, the one on the bottom represents your where you are now, your general wisdom and guidance, and the card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. Then this one here will actually be an outcome card to let you know the outcome of what could possibly happen with these. Okay, so the cards you received, wow, are the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. Wow, okay. The Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. And remember, we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of, is specifically with communicating in a way that is constructive to the outcomes that you want. And so the Ace of Pentacles is a card of opportunity. A lot of times when we see any of the Pentacles cards, and particularly the Ace of Pentacles, we tend to think that it's just guaranteed opportunity or guaranteed money. And so, I mean, it could be that, but the Ace of Pentacles is usually the awareness of an opportunity that's being handed to you. So it's not, think of it like this. It's kind of like if somebody gives you all of the ingredients to make spaghetti, it doesn't mean you have spaghetti. It just means you have the ingredients. You have the possibility of it if you know how to, put it together, so you may see an opportunity coming your way, an opportunity being presented to you, and it's up to you to take it or to hold off, but usually the Eight of Pentacles indicates it's an opportunity that you should take. And so I would encourage you, since we are looking at your communication, and communicating in a way that is constructive to your desires rather than destructive, is to communicate, be very clear about what it is that you are wanting. Sometimes when we are not clear about what we want, then we can't see the opportunities when they present themselves. We actually say, oh, nothing good happens to me, nothing good comes my way, or I'm waiting for my big break, or I wish I had the opportunities that she had, or I wish if what he had came to me, then I would, and all this kind of stuff, that we fail to see, the opportunities that are around us. It's funny, I plan on relaunching a book that I wrote a long time ago. Actually, I never even like published it on the internet. It was just something I sold to family and friends. But it's called The Flour, the Eggs, and the Sugar. And it is a book where I talk about, if you have flour, eggs, and sugar, there's so many things you could, and other ingredients, milk, whatever, there's so many different kinds of bread that you can make. I mean, it's a lot of things you can do with basic ingredients. And I use that as kind of like a metaphor for life. A lot of times we have what we need to create what we want, but we don't see it, so the person who doesn't know how to make bread or make biscuits would look in the refrigerator or the pantry and see the flour, the eggs, and the sugar and still say, I don't have nothing to eat. Yes, you do. You just got to know how to put it together. The good thing about the Ace of Pentacles is that when the opportunity is presented to you, when you say yes to it, then the way to put it together, the instructions, the guidance, the help that you need, etc., will come to you. But you have to be able to see the opportunity. In order to see it, you have to be clear about what you want and communicate. And don't be ashamed or afraid to communicate what you actually want. The Six of Cups is one of those cards that's very nostalgic. It's one of those cards, when I see it, sometimes it represents your past or your childhood or the good old days, whether your childhood was good or not. It just represents a time of innocence, of purity, of nostalgia. And so you might actually, your communication this week might be within yourself, to communicate with yourself, to remember what were your dreams when you were a child? What were your hopes when you were young? What did you think life was going to be about when you were little, that perhaps you have fallen away from because, maybe, life, growing up, hard times, trauma, falling in love, falling out, the things that happen, as we grow up, in those life lessons, sometimes put us in a space where we no longer believe like we did when we were a child, where we no longer hope like we did when we were young. And so seeing the Six of Cups is like, you remember the time when you were young. As soon as I say remember the time, it made me think about Michael Jackson's song, Remember the Time, but yeah, remember the time. Remember a time when you did believe. Remember a time when you did dream and had these hopes and these aspirations, and even if it was kind of fairy tale like, remember what did that feel like. Now how can you couple that with what with the lessons that you know now about life, but in a way that is constructive. Now perhaps instead of just seeing things as a complete fairy tale, you are learning how to still have your dream, but in a way that is I don't want to say practical, but maybe like, for example, like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I'm going to live in a mansion, and then you grow up and you're like, oh, I guess maybe I can't have a mansion because of X, Y, and Z. Well, you can still have a nice home. You can still it doesn't mean you have to discard your dream just because now things about, income and credit scores and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean discard your dream. It just means, now add wisdom to your dream, so that you can have it, because it looks like, with this Ace of Pentacles, that opportunities are coming your way. You just have to be able to recognize them as they come. And so this card here is kind of like an outcome card to indicate, a possible outcome if you follow or don't follow the advice or the wisdom that I share with you here. And wow, you got the Fool. I love the Fool card, because the Fool The fool is a fool, like, but in a good way. Like, the fool takes risk. I mean, even if you look at it, look at him. He's standing at a cliff, about to step off, holding a flower, like la la la. But the fool is really about the journeys that we take in life when we don't know all of the details. We don't know the outcomes. You know, the fool knows that you have to get out there in life. You have to explore. You have to experience life. You have to start anew. If you notice, he's the number 0. He's before number 1. You know, he's 0. He's the first start. You know, and so perhaps right now you're at a point where it's a fresh start, or you are, you have to become like the fool. And oh yeah, some of you cannot hold on to what you think you know. The fool understands that he knows nothing. You know, and he's okay with that because he's stepping out on faith. Now, sometimes, yeah, the fool can, on the flip side, it can represent, you know, recklessness, you know, being foolish. But I'm not really feeling that right now, especially with these other 2 cards that came up for you. The fool is really just willing to take life as it comes, and not being so structured to what he thinks he knows or what people thinks he should be doing and whatever. He's enjoying his life, and he's learning along the way. The fool represents, you know, taking a step in learning, and then taking another step in learning, and taking another step in learning. That with this Ace of Pentacles, because this Ace of Pentacles we see is like the hand of the divine coming down to give you something. That this is the week for you to be like the fool and say you don't know everything. You can't even create everything that you say that you want. Some things you have to trust and have faith in and just move forward. You know, walk as though you know your path is laid out for you, even if you don't know all of the details. Have faith and have fun while you're having faith. And so the wisdom card, this is a good reading. The wisdom card that came up for you. Oh, wow. This is... Y'all better do it this week. You receive message in a bottle, which is like spirit just speaking to you, spirit just giving you wisdom and clarity and guidance, you know, that you didn't even ask for. So I'm going to read what information came with this card. And it says... communication. Y'all, ain't this week all about communication? Y'all, that's y'all's communication. It's not going to be the communication from your own mouths. It's the communication. Wow, I'm really understanding now. It's the communication that you're able to perceive from spirit. It's the communication that you're able to receive. Even if it's somebody else speaking the words to you, it's the communication that you're able to listen to and grasp and see it and catch it when it comes, you know? Okay, so message in a bottle says, communication, a sign, a Cledon, the ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. Spirit sends you signs when you ask for them, when you believe you will receive them, and when you allow yourself to become fluent in the language of symbols, oracles, and omens. They may come to you as a bird flying by, a logo on a truck, and a song on the radio. Expect confirmation that you're pointed in the right direction. Keep your ears open, for someone might say something, might say just the right thing that will give you the answer to your query. Today, your message is this: Spirit hears you and the reply is favorable. Wow. So the relationship message says you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, phone call, or email. You are the intended receiver of this message, so stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. And thought I dropped something. And then the prosperity message says you are on target with your purpose and your passion. You are coming into alignment with the with your destiny, and Spirit wants you to know that you're on the right track. Expect a call, a new opportunity, or a message from an old friend or a business contact that will lead you closer to your dreams and your greatest desires. Spirit is listening to you. Wow. So that just makes so much sense here. Yes, remember your dreams of the past. Remember true joy, and that, that joy of innocence, and the things you perhaps desired even in your youth. And trust and know that some opportunities you can't force, some things you can't you have to just recognize your window of opportunity when it opens to you, and walk towards it like the fool. You don't have to know everything, but if you know in your gut that it's the right opportunity, then take it and learn along the way, because Spirit is with you. But you have to pay attention, because sometimes Spirit be screaming at y'all and y'all ain't paying attention. So you got to listen and recognize the signs when they come to you. Okay. So that is it for your reading for February 9th through the 15th. Make sure you comment your card selection below by Monday, February the 10th. If you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway, get the 9 keys to manifesting what you want audio class while it is available this week only for $9.99. Book your own personal reading. Get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. Leave a love offering or donation down below. And like, subscribe, and share. So until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching the Pick a Card for the week of February 9th through the 15th. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by February 10th if you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway. Get the 9 keys to manifesting whatever you want. Right now, that 1-hour class is available for only $9.99, just this week only. So make sure you get it while it's still available. Book your own personal reading and get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. Leave a love offering or donation. All of those links are down below. Until we speak again, as always, I'm wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching.